I told you this would be a part 2 review. See, I told you it would be a 2-part review. Or part 2 review. But I was talking about, I really love the ending with the tanker trucks. I thought it was a very satisfying action sequence, well done stunt work. I like that the girl, what was her name? Carrie Lowell. She's doesn't take a lot of shit. She's, you know, able to defend herself. She's flying the plane to try to help Bond. Like I said, you know, someone's shooting a Stinger missile and the disc of the tanker truck goes up, so the missile goes right under. Then like there's a unhooks the bat, so it goes down, big explosion. Has to go through this fire and actually gets the truck to go like on its tippy toes in a way, go through the fire. Other guys try to, and their car gets fucked up. Fighting with Robert Davi, just really satisfying action sequence, really good stunt work. And then like Bond is, things crash with Bond and Davi are fucked up. And I like that James Bond actually has a lighter that Felix gave to him. Felix and his wife gave to him on the wedding day. It's a lighter. It's like, don't you want to know why? This lighter is like a big ass lighter, fries Robert Davi and gets the hell out of there. Boom. Really satisfying ending. So to end the review portion, I really enjoyed this film. I didn't get bored. I thought, yeah, I liked the plot. I liked the way it went. I thought it was a really great cast. I thought the action scenes worked with really wonderful stunt work. I think Timothy Dalton does a great job. Robert Davi is a solid bad guy. I see Benicio del Toro there as the henchman. I like the straightforward approach where it's a revenge plot. I like that. Makes it a little bit different from a lot of James Bond films. And believe me, I've been watching from Dr. No to Living Daylights. Some difference is appreciated. Well, some are not, but some are. And this is one of them. It was entertaining. James Bond was badass. Really wonderful stunt work. I don't really see the problems. I don't know why this was hated on so much. I don't get it. I think this is a really underrated film. Which I'll get to that portion. I'm trying to think of why people hate this. It's too grim. It's too serious. It's not James Bond. Like I said before, in another review, Desmond Llewellyn, who played Q, when one of the Pierce Brosnan films was being promoted, they were asking him questions about the James Bond actors. And Q himself said that Timothy Dalton was the closest to the character in the novels. So this is how James Bond was in the novels. From what I understand, from a lot of people too, who worked on the films, who really know the James Bond to heart. This is how James Bond was in those novels. And he wasn't trying to copy Sean Connery. He wasn't trying to copy Roger Moore. He's trying to do his own thing. I think Timothy Dalton did a really good job. And the too grim, too serious, then what the hell the Daniel Craig films are? Sesame Street? And I like the Daniel Craig films. I gave a review of Skyfall. I liked Skyfall. I like the Daniel Craig films. I'll get to them. But those are grim and serious as well. You know, it's just... This did it before. This is too grim and serious, but yet Daniel Craig films aren't. There's not wall-to-wall humor and one-liners. You know, those have to be PG-13. I have to think those are PG-13. I would almost guarantee those are PG-13. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd be surprised. I should just look real quick. This is right here. Yeah, PG-13. Casino Royale. So the too grim, too serious argument does not work. If you think this is too grim, too serious, then you have to say Casino Royale and those are as well. And I'm fine with both, because I love The Spy Who Loved Me and Goldfinger, but I also really love Casino Royale and GoldenEye, and I really love this film. I think this is underrated. This is just shit on. In my opinion, I don't understand why. Oh, it's too grim, it's too serious. But again, fucking Casino Royale is not Sesame Street. He's not fucking Elmo in Grouchland. The Muppet, you know what? Those are grim and serious too. Those are PG-13 as well. So you can't give me that argument. Had good bad guy. Timothy Dalton was good. Had good action scenes. Good Bond girls. Marianne. Oh, shit. I was thinking of Living Daylights. Terry Lowell did a good job. I know one thing was the marketing was shitty. Just for some reason, the title was going to be License Revolt. But then I think MGM or someone said, well, you know, audiences will think that it has something to do with driving test, you know, driver's license, you know, being revoked. For me, I'm like, that's a shitty title, License Revolt. Like, License to Kill just sounds better than License Revolt. You know, the only revolt I know is fucking Danny 11 Lethal Weapon 2 just been revoked. But that was a shitty title, License Revolt. So License to Kill is a much better title, so that was their fault. But I know that hurt their marketing because they had to change it kind of sort of last minute. I know it was a big summer of 1989. This came out in the summer of 89. That was one of the big blockbuster summers because you had the summer of Batman, you had Lethal Weapon 2, you had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, you had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you had When Harry Met Sally, even little films like Turner and Hooch, you know, your surprise hits. Back to the Future 2, I think, was in the fall. I don't think it was a summer film. I think it came out a little bit later. I think so. So, can't really say Back to the Future Part 2. But yeah, Lethal Weapon 2, Ghostbusters 2, Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You had a lot of big sequels, as well as Batman, which was a phenomenon. So, I think that hurt the film. Oh, Timothy Dalton. Well, this film made 50-some million bucks, and that's with Timothy Dalton, so you can't tell me it's Timothy Dalton. It's not the film. The film's good. Grim serious? Well, Daniel Craig films are grim and serious, but people give those the pass, and this still gets the shaft, and I don't understand why. I really don't. So yeah, I don't know why. Maybe people at the time didn't want a serious James Bond, but when Casino Royale came around, they were okay with it. But this time around, my favorite will always be GoldenEye, because it was the first one I ever saw. But this is, I think, is the most underrated James Bond film, because I have no problems with the film. I think it's really well done. You know, I would say this is John Glen's... I don't know if I like this or For Your Eyes Only more. I'm not sure which. Because I really was surprised by For Your Eyes Only, and I really like this one, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one. But it's definitely the most underrated one. You know, got the shit kicked out of it, the box office. I think it did alright worldwide, but in the US it didn't do much, which is too bad. I don't understand why this gets shit on. I don't understand it. It's too grim. Yeah. Yeah. And fucking this isn't. And I love this film as well. This is too grim, but this is like peaches and fucking ice cream. Really? I really like Casino Royale, but you know what? This did it first. Well, I don't know first. I mean, you could say some of the early Bond films, like For Your Eyes Only with Roger Moore, and even Sean Connery, like For Russia with Love was a more serious film, I will admit that. And such. But, or even On Her Majesty's Secret Service, you could say. But, especially with the ending of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So maybe it's not the first, but it's probably at that time, the most serious, grimmest one. But this is underrated. I think it was well done. I think the action scenes were... It's a good film. You know, I don't think it deserves the shit it got. That's just my opinion. But either way, thanks for watching my review of License to Kill. I knew it'd go into 2 parts, but I wanted to defend the film because I don't think it deserves the harsh criticism that these get the pass, which, again, I like these films. I'll get to it. But this still gets a shaft. I don't think that's right. And oh, one other thing, Timothy Dalton. That was another thing people said. Oh, this hurt the franchise because they didn't make a film for 6 years until GoldenEye. It wasn't because of that. They wanted to use Timothy Dalton again, and Timothy Dalton wanted to play Bond again. In fact, I think when they signed Dalton up, he had like a 3-picture deal or something like that. So he wanted to do a third one. I wanted to see what Timothy Dalton would do. I love to see his 5, 6 movies, you know. Or United Artists, someone sold off, and then this other company got it, and then this is going to be partnered with another company, and they were going to show James Bond on their TV stations and stuff, and then like Ian Productions or whatever were like, wait a minute. You guys may have made this deal, but you didn't make it with us. No, you can't show the James Bond, because we own part of that. And there's a big legal struggle, if I can learn to talk. And that took years. And they weren't going to let it go because James Bond is a fucking lucrative franchise, especially worldwide, and memorabilia is a big fucking franchise, especially when you have, what was this 16th film, or I can't remember what number this film was. I think this was like the 16th film. You know, 16 films don't give you a shitload of money. It took so long. It took 6 years to get it settled. And then by that time, Timothy Dalton's like, well, the time has passed. So Pierce Brosnan got it. And that's where you get GoldenEye, which was the first one I ever saw of James Bond. So this didn't help kill the franchise, or it didn't hurt the franchise. It was because of legal. It was lawsuits, which is unfortunate because Timothy Dalton didn't get to do more, which I would like to have seen what he would have done more. Would like to have seen that. I still maintain I liked A View to a Kill, but it would have been interesting to see what Timothy Dalton would have done with A View to a Kill. Like, still have Peaceful Walk instead of the Golden Gate Bridge. It would have been interesting. But I really enjoyed this film. Either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you later.